Joe Biden just saved another $75 billion from being axed by Donald Trump concerning clean energy and climate change investment in our economy. By the way, most of the money that Joe Biden has spent and allocated while he's been president, including in his waning days, have benefited mostly Republican districts and states. Dirty little secret Donald Trump doesn't want MAGA to know about is that hundreds of thousands of jobs were created in red districts because of Joe Biden. And when Donald Trump comes in and axes all of those programs, where do you think those jobs are going to go? I'm Michael Popok. You're on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF. Let's dive into the new $74 billion investment protection that Joe Biden just did just in the last, he's got 6 days left on the clock here. It has to do with the Inflation Reduction Act. Yes, there was an Inflation Reduction Act which set aside almost $1 trillion to try to lower inflation coming off of COVID. It was another one of the signature programs of Joe Biden. When they build the Biden Presidential Library, much like the Lyndon Johnson Presidential Library, there is going to be a whole wing of the $3 trillion that was done in the stimulus package to restart the heart of the economy after COVID and all the jobs that were saved. Then the Inflation Reduction investment that was done for infrastructure to create new jobs and to lower inflation. I know everybody in MAGA world got hung up on the price of eggs and gas for a minute, but the reality is long-term durable change happened under Joe Biden. He was just a terrible advocate for his own success. But let's put that aside for a moment. Infrastructure Reduction Act, remember that, IRA. The IRA did a lot of investment in climate change and clean energy. I mean batteries, I mean electric cars, I mean wind, solar, cogeneration plants, and the like. And this $74 billion he has now allocated, granted out, if you will, to states and municipalities and to private businesses in order to get rid of that money. Use it or lose it. We're in the use it or lose it stage now with the administration. Jennifer Granholm also doesn't get enough credit, former Michigan governor. She is the energy secretary. She's done a fantastic job. We are in a much better place and a much more solid footing as a country because of Joe Biden and his investment in our economy, in our future, in our jobs, in our technology. He invests in our future. Donald Trump is not going to invest and only looks in his rearview mirror. That is a major difference. And why is Joe Biden continuing to do this? Because he's still president of the United States until 12:01 on the 20th of January. I mean, let's remember when Hail to the Chief is played at the inauguration for the first time, it's not for Donald Trump. It's for Joe Biden, who is still president when he walks into that room. Now, he walks out Citizen Joe, but he walks in the president. In the meantime, every one of his administrative heads, every one of his cabinet heads have been given a mission since November the 5th to whatever they were allocated to spend it, whatever programs that they had, enforce them, whatever regulations can be implemented to make the Donald Trump rollback and having them be throttled by Donald Trump, make it throttle proof. And the more that Joe Biden does every day to stack up these types of policy initiatives, some of which are durable, they can't be easily undone, some of which Donald Trump's going to have to use political capital to undo. Why? Because the more that Donald Trump, that Joe Biden does, the more that Donald Trump has to try to undo. And we have a finite amount of time for this administration. I know any minute of a new Trump administration is insufferable for most of us, but it is a limited quantity of time. And 4 years goes by like that in Washington. 2 years to the midterms go by like that. If Trump gets a crushing defeat because he's going to overreach, which he already has, implementing policies nobody wanted, going foreign policy nobody wanted, acquisition either by force or by money of foreign territories who belong to our allies, wrecking of the economy with a tariff war around the country, including of our NATO allies. Nobody wanted all that. So if we get a crushing defeat at midterm, then Donald Trump's really lame duck in about a year and a half. Your nighttime bedroom temperature has a huge impact on your sleep quality. If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Miracle Made sheets are inspired by NASA and use silver-infused fabrics that are temperature regulating so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long, no matter the weather. So you get better sleep every night. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Sleeping on bacteria can clog your pores, causing breakouts and acne. Sleep clean with Miracle. Upgrade your sleep this year. Go to trymiracle.com/legalaf to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code LegalAF at checkout, you'll get a free 3-piece towel set and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/legalaf and use the code LegalAF to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/legalaf to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. And so the more Joe Biden can kind of stack up on the table in front of Trump, the more Trump has to use and expend energy, capital, focus, law. How many laws can he get through Congress? This Congress is a slim margin. It's a +3 margin at best. Yes, they elected the speaker on the first ballot. Congratulations. Democrats did that for years with Nancy Pelosi. But every moment that he has to spend on doing something that Joe Biden did is one less moment that Donald Trump has to implement his own policies. And he has a crew around him, some of which are reasonably adult and professional, most of which are not. They don't know what they're doing in government. They're all outsiders. They're basically incompetent when it comes to the operation of something as large, as sprawling, as complicated, as political as the U.S. government. That's a good thing. So the $74 billion, let me break that down for you, of this new money that was just allocated at the last minute under the Infrastructure Reduction Act. It is a part of $160 billion in total that Joe Biden invested in America job creation and in our energy program. Of that $160 billion, 75%, listen to these numbers, 75% were allocated to GOP MAGA districts. This is why they never complain. Donald Trump and the Speaker of the House, it's a boondoggle. We got to get rid of clean energy. We got to go back to fossil fuels. We got to go back to the 1950s. Forget it. These districts all benefited from it. 75%, right? $94 billion went into battery manufacturing in red states. $21 billion in cars manufactured in red states. $18 billion went into 18 billion went into other infrastructure, minerals and resources in red states, and only 15 billion went into solar in red states. The only thing that was in a predominantly blue area, a Democratic area, is apparently we like wind. So it's wind. We got 7 billion in wind. Of that, 170,000 jobs were created in these red districts by Joe Biden. He's the best MAGA job creator we've ever had. Let me repeat that. Joe Biden is the best MAGA job creator we've ever had concerning all this renewable power. So these are all good things. We're going to continue to follow. He's not done. He's not done. Joe Biden's not done until January 20th at 12 o'clock. I assume at 11:30 in the morning, he's going to still be signing executive orders to try to Trump-proof democracy. We need him to. We're still waiting for that last gasp and batch of clemencies, of pardons, of putting more people into temporary protective status to protect them from deportation. closing down some facilities related to deportation, doing some more reform on criminal justice, making it harder. Last wave and gasp of pardons are going to be important. We're going to watch for those as well right here on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF. Follow me on a new show I'm doing called Popok Live on the MeidasTouch Network, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on this YouTube channel. Popok Live. It's about 45 minutes long. It's sprawling in terms of topics, but it's got me at the center of it. I answer questions, I give answers, and I take no prisoners. That's Popok Live, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the MeidasTouch Network. Legal AF, the YouTube podcast we've been doing for 5 years, Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. There is going to be no hotter intersection than that between law and politics in the coming Trump administration. Be there for it. Legal AF there, and Legal AF, the YouTube channel that I curate with MeidasTouch Network, Legal AF MTN. So until my next reporting, this is Michael Popok. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.